What's up everybody, it's Jasmine. Get yourself a spooky Halloween t-shirt, link is in the description down below. I designed it myself. Today we're talking about a little bit of a scandal in Sweden. So there's a town about an hour north of Stockholm called Uppsala, and they have a hospital there, and in the hospital, their operating department had to close down today, which means that all of the appointments that they were going to do today have to be cancelled. They have to be rebooked. They don't even know if they're going to be able to open it back up again tomorrow. And the reason why they had to do this is because their delivery of goods did not come. So that means it could be anything. It could be like operating equipment. It could be something simple like gloves, disinfectant, any sort of thing that you need to run an operating department. The stuff that they've ordered hasn't come. Now, I think that this is quite shocking because operations are something that is needed in society, and it's something that you should be able to rely on. Hospitals already have so many people to take care of, and they have so much work to get done, and there's often long waiting lists and things like that for people to get the help that they need, right? So if a whole department, especially an operation department, has to close down because a manufacturer or deliverer can't deliver the goods that they've promised to deliver, that's a real issue. Now, I work at a hospital, so when we hear about things like this, we ourselves get quite nervous, because then we have to wonder, is this also going to happen to us? How much money is that going to cost? How much time is that going to cost? And it's not just the fact that it's one day of operations that aren't going to be done. It's the fact that you then have to have all of these resources to rebook these appointments. That takes time, that takes money, and it's also not knowing how long this is going to go on for. Is it just one day? Is it 2 days? Is it a week? Is it going to be fine again, and then 1 month later we're going to have this problem again? So this didn't happen to the hospital that I work at, thank goodness, but it's really concerning, and I think that it's a really big issue if a company can't deliver what they promise. Because when you order goods and services, especially for a hospital, you choose companies that you can rely on because it's such an important thing. Other goods and services, something that might not be as important, like maybe like a fashion industry, you might not necessarily be as concerned about where you're going, like how long, is it okay if you miss a day or not? But when you're talking about a hospital, it is really important that you don't miss a day. And it's something that where I work, we've also had issues with this, but we have a backup of supplies, and I assume that the hospital in Uppsala has that as well, because it's just so important. So that makes me think that it's an even bigger issue than just one day of missed deliveries. I'm thinking that it's probably so that the deliveries are really quite late, so that even the hospital's own stock of equipment has been used up. So I just think that it's really awful and really quite scary. And I also think that it's possibly a bigger problem in Sweden, because I personally, I've been to the doctor and I've had to get medication right from the pharmacy. And for example, I was taking sleeping pills, right? And I went to the pharmacy in, I think it was October last year, to pick up a prescription of sleeping pills. And they told me that there wasn't any in Sweden. Their supplier had run out. Now, so I went back every month or so to see if I could pick up these sleeping pills. Now, I wasn't that concerned because I had been feeling a lot better. And so it wasn't something that I was in acute need of. But for somebody else, obviously, like especially if you have a bipolar or schizophrenia, it's really important that if you are having sleeping issues that you get something to help you with that, because otherwise it can really negatively affect your mental health. So I wasn't so worried for myself, but I was really shocked for other people who also weren't getting their medication, because it wasn't just me, it was the whole of Sweden. So I went back every month to check if I could get my sleeping pills, and still to this day, it's been almost a whole year later and they still haven't stocked back up. So I don't even know what's going on. And this isn't an unusual sleeping pill. It's Sopraclone, which is really common. So I do not understand how they can have this issue. And so hearing about this issue with the operation equipment not being delivered, I connect the two, and I don't know if I should, but I'm connecting the two in my head, and it makes me really wonder, like, what's going on in Sweden. I think that there should be something in place to make companies accountable for things like this, because it can be really serious to have to close an operation department. That's dangerous. Sure, right now it's just one hospital. It could be several hospitals, and then what are you going to do? What are you going to do if somebody needs an emergency operation and you don't have the equipment to carry it out? What if you don't have the disinfection to carry out the operation safely? What if you don't have gloves to protect yourself doing the operation? These are simple things that should be there, and there should be backups to make sure that this type of thing doesn't happen, and if it does, it should be extremely, extremely rare. Yeah, so I'm personally really shocked about it. I don't know what you guys think. Leave a comment down below. Do you guys have your own experiences with this? I've only heard about this since I've been in Sweden. In New Zealand, I haven't heard about this sort of thing happening, but obviously I was younger then, so it could be something to do with that. But like my mum, she's been on medication for like her whole adult life, so yeah, I'm really shocked. Anyway, that's going to be it for me today, guys. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think. Hopefully, I'll find out soon if they do receive their supplies and things like that. It'll be really concerning if it ends up affecting our hospital that I work at. But hopefully not. Fingers crossed. Anyway, hey då!